Hello, hello, sustainable parents. Flora McCormick here. Welcome to the Calm, Confident Parenting Workshop. I'm so honored that you're here. I know it takes a lot getting the kids off to school, figuring a window in your workspace, or watching this in the evening. So, congratulations for making that space. I promise it will be worth your time. This is not your typical workshop that's going to be just about how to take deep breaths and walk away so that you're more patient. No, this is going to give you really doable, actionable, powerful steps so that you really move the dial to starting to see the kids listening better and to you feeling more calm and confident. I know we have people listening from across the country, some maybe even international. So put a comment right now first into the chat below. Where are you listening from? We would love to hear where you are joining us from. First of all, I also want to tell you that we're going to be giving away some fun prizes. I want this to be an experience where you are rewarded for taking time to invest in your family. So when you attend and make a comment either live or in the replay throughout the workshop, each time that will give you an entry into winning a Starbucks gift card. And I will need to be able to access getting you that Starbucks gift card. So make sure you send me a message that says something like, I was at day one, and then I'll be able to be in touch with you. Secondly, I just want to say I am so honored to be here in this space with you. I can tell you that this is one of my favorite things to do because I know 3 things are probably true about you for showing up here today. The first thing that I know about you is that you care deeply about your relationship with your kids, and you love these children and you want the best for them. So many moms have been commenting and communicating with me in Messenger already about, I want to be a mom who is gentle and connected and helping them to be their best future self. And I want to be enjoying my time with them where I'm not feeling like, that they're just running me over and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can do this again today. So I know you're here because you care deeply. And I'm honored to be a part of that journey. I promise to make it worth your while. Commit to coming to all 3 days, especially our first 3 days. The others are bonuses. Of course, I'd love to have you join for, but commit to being here with us. The second thing that I know is true about you, friend, is that you're here because things have not been as you imagined. Am I right? And this is a place to be totally open, honest, vulnerable. I'm going to share with you in a minute one of my most embarrassing parenting moments that, of course, happened in front of like 40 other parents all watching, because that's how life goes, right? I've been there, friend. I have been completely embarrassed and frustrated and asking, why is this happening? Maybe you saw in your email me sharing my story of when my father-in-law pulled me aside on August 12th and said, this is not working. You guys are failing. And I was like, excuse me. But then I also was like, holy cow, he's kind of right. And he was. So I've been there, and this is a space, friend, to be open and vulnerable. So as others are commenting or sharing things during today's workshop, would you please be connected, be encouraging? This is not just a one-way street. This is an opportunity to create community. And when we're doing community and sustainable parenting, it is that we are not going to be in that old petri dish of shame and isolation and judgment. We are going to be in the openness together, and in that openness, be able to give each other encouragement, validation, and connection. And third of all, I want to say I'm so glad that you're here, and you being here tells me that you're someone who cares deeply about having things be as effective as possible. You're the type of person that's like, I want to parent smarter, not harder. I want this change as easy and quickly as possible. And that, my friend, is what I'm all about. So you are absolutely in the right place. At the end of this workshop, you're going to have an opportunity where you can continue on with me, work more with me deeply in a way that you have all of my best practices and tools for getting kids to listen and to have more calm. But I have a power-packed workshop for you here in these 3 days. So let's dive in. I want to pause and say welcome to those that are here. I'm seeing you, and I'm so happy to have you joining. So friend, let me start by sharing with you the first or one of my most embarrassing moments where I was definitely not parenting with calm or confidence. I can picture it like I'm right there in that moment again. Caleb was around 4 and we were attending his first swim class with a group of other students. And we walk out onto the edge and I had wanted to prepare him for it. We talked about how it was going to be fun, something new. And I had my swimsuit on so I could help get in the water with him, get him accustomed to it and get set. And then this was a space where it's like a square and all around the edges, each class is lining up and their parents are like sitting in the chairs behind them, kind of hanging out while the classes happen. All of a sudden, the teachers start coming over and it's about time for class to start. And I'm like feeling pretty positive about it. And I'm like, okay, Caleb, so I'm going to go and it's your time to do this class. Have fun. And he loses it. Out of nowhere, it kind of shocks me that he's like clinging to me, screaming, no, don't go. And then he's just like whiny and mopey and I don't want to do the class and all these things that seem to come out of nowhere. And so I try to respond with some sense of like connectedness and gentleness. It's okay. I love you. I'm here. You're all right. You're safe here. He's still whining and crying. And as time goes on and that's not making it better, I just flip-flop to like, listen, you got to get it together. Look around. No one else is having a hard time. I mean, my blood is like boiling with embarrassment of all of these other eyeballs. It seemed literally my kid was the only one having a hard time in this space. And I just feel like their eyeballs of judgment. And I'm like, why is this so difficult for you? Why does this have to be so hard? It's not a big deal. And then that doesn't make it any better. So then I flip-flop over to be trying to be gentle again. And all the while, nothing changes the situation. The entire class was miserable. And I left that class and I remember even saying to him in the car, why does this have to be so hard, Caleb? To which, of course, he just looked at me like a deer in the headlights, like zero anything to be able to say was hard about it. Of course. Have you been there, friends? Can you relate? Yeah. It is not your fault. I want to tell you that if you can relate, you are probably in a place of doing one of the 3 key errors that I was totally doing without realizing it. I was doing so many things in that story I just described to you that had been happening in many areas of my parenting, and I didn't realize were completely keeping us stuck in cycles of suffering. And we can change them together. I walked away from that moment and I said to myself, I have got to find a way to stop bouncing between kind and firm, like loving mom and monster mom, when he just won't listen or he seems to be irrationally freaking out. And I searched and searched, and honestly, I did not find anything out there that really concretely gave me the steps and tools so that I could see change happen. And so I committed to finding and creating the answers. I dove into like all of my past as a licensed therapist and getting my master's in counseling with a specialty in working with kids. I dove back into all of my binders, all of my books, And I started listening deeply to my gut as a mom. I started listening deeply to what my friends were experiencing. And I created what I now call the sustainable parenting framework, that is my unique process to help you quickly know the 4 tiers of what to do in each situation so that you eliminate the chaos and confusion. And I'm going to share that with you in sustainable parenting. The first piece to be able to step into all of those is to let go of the errors, though, that have not been serving us. Let's slough off what has not been working. We have to let go of old habits that are keeping us in cycles of struggle. And in my 10 years doing parent coaching and my 12 years as a licensed therapist and working with hundreds of families each year, I see these common errors being the thing that are trapping people. So what are the 3 main errors? They are parenting from the neck up, parenting like a pinball, and asking the wrong questions. Let's see if you can relate to these. The first one in parenting from the neck up is when you find yourself saying, I try to explain to him that this is not a big deal, or I have told him again and again not to climb on the couch, not to touch those things, and he does it anyways. I have told him why it matters to be nice to his brother and sister, and he just doesn't ever change. Can you relate? That's because we get in this place, we're such cerebral, educated adults that we forget that our kids have a prefrontal cortex, that higher level thinking isn't complete in formation until like late 20s. Some scientists now are even saying early 30s. So we are so often trying to explain and rationalize with children when they are not at all in a rational place and don't have the same capacity as us to fully make changes based on rationale. Yes, we can talk to them. Of course, that's important. We can explain things. But if we are trying to make change through that, it's like we're only using one tool in the tool belt. It's like we're trying to get a nail in the wall with a hammer and like, why won't this thing go in? It's like, that's not the right tool for every moment. So have you been wasting your time parenting from the neck up when their brains were just not even there to hear it? If so, say, parenting from the neck up. Put a comment below. And the second error that I was making that I didn't even realize until really examining it, which maybe you can relate to as well, was parenting like a pinball machine. That pinball is that I was like reading books, reading blogs, getting advice, all these shoulds out there that are telling me, well, you should do this and you should do that. And it seemed like it was always conflicting advice. I was trying to take advice from many, many different places, and it left me really feeling chaotic. And of course, when I was feeling really chaotic and unclear, I came across as really unpredictable. And so, of course, Caleb was like, I don't even know who you're going to be today, lady. Are you going to be kind mom? Are you going to be boundary mom? Is it this what's going to upset you? Or is it that? Like, when you're unpredictable, then the behavior doesn't change. The kids don't understand where the exact parameters are, and they just keep pinging with their like lasers of behavior to say, where are the boundaries here? I don't get it. So when you're ping-ponging, you can't be predictable. And if throughout this workshop you start seeing that you align with the way that I describe things and the way that I give you solutions, I would really encourage you to pick this one place, this one source for your guidance so that you won't feel that ping-ponging stress and chaos anymore. If ping-ponging is connecting for you, put the word ping-ponging in the comment. And remember, if others put a similar one as you and you can relate, please like their comment or give an emoji afterwards to show them some connection and that someone else is feeling them on this and relating to them on this. The third error that I was making, friends, is asking the wrong questions. Do you ever find yourself with your kid, like I was, saying, why? Why are you doing this? Why on earth did you go take that truck and hit your baby brother? Why is it so hard for you always when we go to new places? Why do you get so emotional? Why are you whining? Why? Oh, friends, and has your kid ever had a great response? Like, well, let me tell you, mommy, this is why. If you can relate, put the word why. Like you can relate that you've been asking why and it has not been effective. Yeah, Chandra says, I try to be kind, but I get so frustrated. Absolutely. Chelsea says, I have the hardest time going from kind and gentle to freaking out, back to kind and gentle. Yes, you guys are really connected. Many people identifying ping pong and why, and so many different other areas. Here's the question to ask instead. What am I going to do about it? And we are going to get into that tomorrow. We are going to move the dial forward about what you can do about it. Instead of asking this little 3, 5, 9-year-olds, why are you doing this? We are going to step into a powerful position where we take action in a new way that's actually effective and has a giant effect on them. So before we go there, friends, as you've identified these 3 key errors that you're ready to let go of, let's collectively say we are done with them. We are letting those old habits go. Put it down below. Yes, I'm letting go, or put an emoji of how it feels to think about letting go of wasting your time in those ways that haven't worked and realizing it's not your fault. There are a lot of things in society that makes us think those 3 things are what we should be doing. We are going to let go of it today. Put the words I'm letting go and put an emoji of how it feels to think about letting go of those. Parenting from the neck up, waste of time most of the time. Parenting is a ping pong grabbing and asking why when they totally don't have an answer for us. Yes. I love it. Yeah. Someone says, I literally was just having this conversation with my 7-year-old last night and she did not have an answer for me. Now you know why. So here's what I want you to think about. I want you to think about how much time has been wasted on parenting from the neck up, on pinballing and trying to grab, and all the while it doesn't succinctly work together in every situation, and asking why and having these long conversations that don't go anywhere. I want you to think about how much time, my friend, has been wasted to that. Like, how many hours a week do you think you have probably wasted in one or more of those errors? Let's all just be honest and put a number down. Put it in the comments. Yep. Yeah. And here's what I want you to now think of. Oh, I love seeing you guys interacting with each other, supporting one another, giving each other encouragement. Yes. Heather says 90% of my actions I feel like are used that way. So here's the great news, friends. Let's commit today. We're going to let go of those and think of what else we are excited to start being able to spend our time on instead. When you have more effective tools, which I'm going to be giving you tomorrow and Wednesday, you can get to the place where I was. I remember finally making these changes And I got to a place where my husband would come home and I actually like had a smile on my face and wasn't like so cold because I was exhausted from battles all day. I got to start using my time in ways where I was happy to make play dates because I wasn't afraid of my child having these terrible meltdowns I didn't know how to respond to. I started being able to spend my time in ways where I actually was, having fun with them, enjoying being a stay-at-home mom at one chapter of my life, having more joy when I was a working mom again. In both scenarios, those came from letting go of these errors. And I think of the moms who have shared with me their various examples too. And Karen, who said, we finally started to enjoy going places with our kids because my daughter was able to control her meltdown. Tanya, who said, I was able to accept a promotion at work because there wasn't an overwhelming amount of stress at home anymore. Rebecca, who said, we finally had our first fun camping trip. Alan and Amy, who said they went to Disneyland and had a wonderful vacation because of letting go of those errors and having effective tools. Or Lauren, as a single mom who really honestly admitted, I finally actually am not counting down the seconds till he leaves to go back to his dad's. I'm like loving that limited time that I get to be with my son. So many examples have come again and again from parents of what they got to start enjoy doing when they let go of wasting time on those errors. What are you excited to start spending your time on? Yes. And friend, it's totally possible. Let go of those errors and come back tomorrow when I am going to give you the super powerful, effective tools so that you can start having that calm confidence and seeing them responding better to you, and all of that really decreasing your anger. See you tomorrow.